3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Well, if you've seen my last video, I talked about this little project truck I was going to pick up really cheap. I ended up scoring this thing for 45 bucks. And as you can see, she's been wrecked maybe once or twice, or sat on one. I don't know what happened. If anyone could tell me what this thing is, because it looks like a SCX-10 knockoff apparently. There's many of them, so even when you get this kind of a sticker on your truck, good chance it's a Chinese knockoff. But for $45, I mean, and everything's here. It all works. Even the battery was dead. So when I first turned it on, it came on for a second, and then it died, you know. And I had to put 8 AA batteries in this controller, and it comes on. Now, I asked you guys if anyone could tell me what kind of tires these was, that I would give you a dyno line. Problem I have with that is there is no name on these tires. So good luck with that. I'll still take whatever answers I can get, but we got to figure out what this thing even is. Like I say, it looks like an XCX-10 setup, but it's not. It doesn't have the symbol here, and the box is a little different. The only thing wrong with this truck that I've seen so far, other than it's just really cheap truck, is the body posts are broken off and the body's smashed. And underneath here, where the top links mount, this little bracket here I see is broke. I'm gonna have to fix that. Not a big deal. You know, I can handle that. But I mean, it's definitely like the SCX-10 original, but it's a knockoff version of that. So it's kind of old probably, but it's in very good shape actually. Servo on axle. Looks like the original type of SCX-10 axles, but maybe cheaper. But anyway, $45. Nice little project. We're going to rebuild this. We're going to bring it back to life right now to the best I can. But throughout this little journey, next couple of times I mess with it, we will have it back in tip-top shape. We got a new motor to put in it. I got my Red Cat ESC I'm going to throw on there just because this has that Tamiya plug and I don't have a Tamiya plug. So we're going to swap that real quick right now and turn it on. So let's do that first thing. Well guys, I was going to put my hex fly in there, and I remembered I cut that Dean's plug off to put on my other ESC. You know what? I left them lights on again all night and they still got juice. I'll be darned, them push lights that are green. I just realized it. Sorry, my wife's watching Grey's Anatomy in the background, but anyway, what I was going to say is, this is the same exact ESC. Even though this is hex fly, if you look at everything wrote down right here, if I can get this in the right light for you, but anyway, this is the exact same ESC. You got 2S LiPo, 5 through 9 cell, NIMH, and 6 volt 3 amp BC. I mean, it's the same. These are both 1040 waterproof ESC. So therefore, there's no point in me actually wiring the plug to this one now. I'm gonna put the same one right back in it that I'm taking out. I just got to cut off this plug, and all I have is like a Traxxas plug, but I do have a Traxxas battery and an adapter. So I guess I'll have to go to the Traxxas adapter plug. I'll be darned, it sucks. Well, alright, I'm too impatient to wait on this battery to charge just so I can test it with this ESC. But again, that is pretty cool knowing that this is the exact same as the hex fly. It's the same as the Red Cat ESC, just different branding. So now we're going with the 1080 for a test. Put this baby in there. Well, alright. Everything on it works. All the electronics work, controller works. I mean, that's great, I think. Ain't much, but I did have to put a new servo horn just now. And you see it pretty much almost hits this link because it's axle on servo. So I'm just going to bend that just a tiny bit, but I mean, she works fine. And this servo is actually torquey. I don't know what it is. It's waterproof. You know, you can see in there, but it's metal. On the outside, the box is metal. So It's got a tall gear, because when you go, I mean right now it's going to jump anyway, but she's not no slow crawler, so not a big deal. So now let me work on this back half and see what we got. Alright guys, let me show you where it's broke right here. You see this back here? As you can see, if I move it, that's where it goes. But here's the problem. Let me put this together and show you something. Whoever built this cheap truck, their geometry of the truck is not the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Now that's where the link goes. That's where it's at. With using these links, oops, it's going to be hard one-handed, but I'm going to show you something though. It's meant to be right here. Okay. Works fine. I mean, all that part works great. But it's meant to ride down low. I mean, they put shocks, very small shocks. Hold on. I had this sitting perfect earlier. But anyway, see right there where that's at? The body can't come down no more without this braking, but it can go up plenty. These shocks are fully extended right there. And they had them mounted down here like this. And this whole thing is, look at it now. So in order for this to be right, this has to go up to there and ride at least this high. Which means I could almost go with the bottom hole. But the company that built this cheap thing, apparently they weren't thinking. What it needs is these links need to be shorter or these need to be longer. I think I'm going to unscrew these and make them longer. Well, I actually found why that was not flexing. I was wrong about the links, I believe. Look at this dry shaft. I can't get it apart. The dry shaft was not going in and out like it's supposed to. If I can get this to slide, that'd be probably what it was. Sorry guys, now that I know what to do with this truck, we're moving on with this project. And you know what's funny is when you can turn a motor with your fingers and it makes that sound of a burned up motor by how fast you, see if I can do it fast enough. There it goes, hear it. Can't do it holding it this way, but man, let me put it over here and watch this. I don't know if you can hear what I'm doing, but it makes the sound of that like a burned up motor. This thing looks like it come off of a dang Power Wheels or something. We got a 7.2 volt 540, but that's all I know about this thing. I can tell you right now, that needs to go in the trash. This gear's got to come off there and this thing gone. We're going to put, I don't know, I think I got a couple of axial motors over here somewhere. I might even have a Traxxas motor. Let me see what I got. I got a 21 turn maybe. I don't remember. Well, alright. I think we got a mess going now, but the more I mess with this little truck, the more I realize this truck is actually in very good shape. Other than that little problem. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Obviously, the same thing. Most of us that already been running hobby grade RCs for a while, know anything about them, know these dry shafts do go in a certain way. You got a fat groove here, a skinny groove on the other side in two ways. You got two fat ones, two skinny ones. And that was all that was wrong, was they put it in there the wrong way, like a lot of us have done. And one-handed maybe not so much, but that's all it was, as you can see right there. So now it works fine. See? So, well, alright guys, as you can see, we got her all apart. And everything's actually in pretty decent shape. Just have this one broken piece that I'm going to have to fix. And at least now I know the only reason it broke was that dry shaft was wrong. This thing works perfect now. All you got two small grooves, two big grooves. Most of us that have dealt with that issue in the past, we've all come across the problem when we first started out, where we've probably put this dry shaft in wrong ourselves. Usually figure it out before you go farther. But somebody didn't figure it out, and this thing would not move, which this thing was at this angle and it caused it to snap this. That's just what happens. I think I can glue this piece temporary, and I'm going to take a metal plate and make a plate to go from all three of these holes right here, because that's how the servo actually mounts. I'm going to take that servo mount off and mark the holes and make me a template or something, maybe. Or we're going to hot glue the crap out of it. One or the other. You know me. So anyway, let me get all these parts cleaned up. Everything's looking great. Get it cleaned up. I think I'm going to go with my 35 turn motor for now. It's 20 turn to be a little fast, because whatever this was, it just says 540, 7.2 volt high power. If I turn this really fast with my fingers when it had the gear, it would make that squealing noise a bad motor makes. It goes, ring. That's what it was doing, just doing that. That's how bad this thing is. So me and Dora are going to get this stuff cleaned up, and we are going to see what we got to maintenance, take care of. I did put a new steering link on here. All this works great. I do not have much range, so we're going to grind these little knuckles off to get just a little more range out of this. See there? That'll give us a little extra motion. We're going to make sure the cat doesn't lose none of my screws. She's checking out our new RC product, giving her opinion. So let me get in here and clean some parts. Well, alright. I had to open the gear just to test everything out, or, check it out. And as you can see, this truck is not that worn out or nothing. It's just sat a lot, probably. Because the bearings are more, the biggest probably thing is the bearings are dry. Not so much the gears, as you can see. I'm going to put a little more in there, obviously, but not much. But you can tell this truck it's not been abused in water or nothing. You don't usually get it that clean in here, even though this is sort of tight. So that's a good thing. But it's kind of a pain to take so much parts apart to get the grease in there. Luckily, it doesn't seem like it needs a lot. So, and the front feels better than the back. I'm not even sure if I'm going to go through all that on the front right now. I guess it's not that big a deal, so might as well. So, put grease in this. I wish I had some kind of WD-40 to soak all the bearings in overnight and get them really working good again, but I don't. I might put a little dab of 2-cycle or 3-in-1 if I can find it, and get all the bearings a little lubed up, because that's where it needs it the most. Well, alright. I didn't really want to have to go through this whole thing, taking it apart to lubricate it, but now this is so buttery smooth, I think I have to. They just feel so much better. I took all the bearings out, redone them, everything. Packed them all full of grease. So we're going to take this apart as well. Well, alright. We got all that lubed up really good. It's buttery smooth again. If I can hold that. But anyway, she's nice and smooth. All the bearings were good in the front. And one end right here was seized up, so but now it's working really good. Got grease in them. It works really good. That one's real smooth. So what I did here, as you can see, as we was talking about earlier, if I can get this where you can see. Yeah, there's a lot of crawlers that have this problem. If I can get the right view, sorry guys. But anyway, you got this little bump block right there on the bottom. Fingers are filthy now from that grease, but you see it hits right there. So, there, focus. On this one, I've already cut it off. You can see right there on the bottom, right here where my finger is, it's gone. It gives you about an 1/8 inch more. So before, where you were hitting right here, so now we got that much more. As long as it don't mess with the dog bones, just a little extra radius that we need. So now let me cut the other one off, and then I gotta start cleaning some stuff off. So alright, as you can see, she turns real nice now. You get a lot more range out of that. So much better. And even when it's fully turned, it still turns very well on the axle. So anyway, now let's start cleaning some parts and putting it back together. Well, alright guys, we got her all cleaned up. Look at the pieces we got here. It's kind of like building an SCX10 kit. But check it out, guys. I mean, it basically is identical to an SCX10, but it's a knockoff. That's all I can think it is. It's got to be a Chinese knockoff. SCX10, I think even the first one, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure even the original first one obviously would have the axial symbol right there. But the truck is not that used. I mean, look underneath. You know when a skid plate is beat all to crap. I mean, the frame's not scratchy. You know, a few scratches here and there. The bumpers are not torn up. They got some scratches, but not very, like just a couple. And you know, that's the first things that get tore up on these things. Usually is these bumpers. Oops, sorry. Trying to get it to focus, but even the back bumper, pretty well, pretty much solid, straight up, scratch free in a way. So, sorry, I'm getting all out of focus because I'm trying to look at it without the camera. All the gears feel good. This is really smooth. Like I say, I've done greased all the axles. The bearings I've taken and lubricated. There was a few bearings that were seized up. That was the main thing. I unseized all the bearings, got them all working really well. Like I say, transmission really feels good. So, it's pretty much time to start assembling things back, and I got to make my repair on this piece right here. But I've got a plan. I think my steering bracket, I think that will help hold it. I'll just switch it to the front, and I've already checked to make sure it fits. And that's a screw that will hold it, plus a little bit of glue, maybe a little bit of hot glue as well, temporary, till I can maybe order something. I'm pretty sure that if I got parts, look at, there's a spider. Where did he come from, you little sucker? Look at this guy. Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah, we got you. Wah, wah, wah. Probably a damn brown recluse or some shit. Probably came up out of that chassis after all the cleaning I just did on it. He probably come crawling up out of that bumper. So anyway, guys, let me start by fixing this piece, and then we're going to get this thing going back together. Alright guys, now then, we got the problem solved for now. This was the back that was broke. I just took the one off the front and moved it to the back, okay? The only thing is, I just don't like that the only thing holding it is these two screw holes. It should have a top bracket here anyway. We're going to make one tomorrow or something maybe. But anyway, for now, this is fixed. As long as we don't have any problems with the suspension travel causing it to break again. Whatever happened the first time, I believe, was that seized up driveshaft they put on wrong. And whatever happened, I don't know. So here's how we fixed it. We moved it to the front because the front, it has the big, and this is actually metal right here, or aluminum. It's strong, whatever it is. So it's got a screw in there. It never had a screw in it before, so it made its own threads. It's really strong. And I put the screws, the pieces, everything together and glued the crap out of it. Even though it looks like there might be a gap there, it's not really. But it's full of glue, not only there, but going up the side, all around behind it. It's glued, period. I might actually just go ahead and put some hot glue over all this. But I don't think you ever have to worry about it, to be honest. I'm not going to run it that hard. I'm just going to leave it like it is. This aluminum thing's going to hold it for now. And like I say, that's pretty firm actually. It might not look it, but it's got a lot of glue behind it. We're just going with it. I'm not going to go out jumping ramps or nothing. So alright guys, I got a little moment of confusion. Now, I thought something I was going to have to address. This servo horn was rubbing this right here before I took it apart. I'm pretty sure it was even in a video that I got. And I'll make sure that I edit it right now. But look how much room I got. put it back together. And I put it back exactly how it came apart. I'm pretty sure. I think. I mean, the only thing could be is maybe these was on the opposite sides because they're universal. But, man, it's the same. Everything's tight. Everything's the same. And I got plenty of distance in there now. Not complaining. It's just weird because it was on that rod. And after I put it together, I was like, man, because I was going to bend this before I put it together and I forgot. I was like, screw it, whatever. I'll just let it rub. And it's not going to rub. What happened? I don't know. That servo horn touched it before. So anyway, cool. Let's put it in the truck. Well, alright guys. We made some good progress. And this thing is actually pretty nice. It's, man, this thing's in good shape. We got her working sweet. I mean, look how smooth that is. I mean, and she's firm. I put all new shock oil. And you know another thing, these were dry on the outside. And I thought, well, they must just not have much oil in them. They had oil in every one, no leaks. But I did change the oil and put thicker oil. And I'm liking that. And here we go. Here's the back that was all messed up. She wouldn't articulate at all. Because I thought the links were wrong. How stupid am I? You know, I was like, I don't know what they did to this thing, but it was just that drive shaft. If your drive shaft won't move, then this can't move, and that's what it was. The drive shaft was stuck. They probably pushed or something, and it just snapped, and they gave up. I don't know what happened, but you know, it's just the way it is. But it's a little cheap knockoff clone, but I'm enjoying working on it. And look at that thing. She looks like brand new almost right now for what it was. Nice and clean. And another thing, you know, guys, I've mentioned before, I've had different cleaning products. I've made videos about what I clean my RC cars with, stuff like that. Many different type of things. It all works. Today, I just used Dawn dish soap. That's what I use when I have nothing. And look how good all this looks. Dawn dish soap. That's all you need. It does just fine. So, I'm happy with this thing. Time to finish buttoning a few things up real fast. Well guys, all we got left is put a pinion gear on this thing and adjust it. And then we're going to put a battery in and see what happens. But this is the stock gear, this big old sucker here that was on it. Like I say, it wasn't trying to be slow either. And I got this old beat up looking gear that's, I don't know what size, but these are a 12. Both of these I think are 12s. So I believe we're just going to put a 12 on it to start. If I have to go back to stock, I will. But with the 35 turn, that's slowing it down. I don't know what was on it before. But I'm still going to try it with the slowest one. Then we will go on up to the other if it's too slow. How's that looking? That's right. Well, alright guys. This is not a bad $45 investment. I have zero invested in on top of that. So, .35 turn on a 12 tooth. I think I'm going to start liking this thing. I don't know if it can climb or anything. Oh, wait a minute. My other ones don't even do that so easy. I got to clean this table off and see where this thing can go. Now, I got to get a Trailmaster put in here because that's my favorite motor. Trailmasters is definitely my favorite for a brushed. But look at this. That ain't bad. And it's got torque. Let me see if I can steer this thing. Alrighty then, as you can see, it's the next day. I just carried it outside. We got the button mounted right there in the back, makes it handy. And this baby's ready to be tested. This servo acts a little bit, the servo kind of acts a little twitchy, you know. But what do you expect? You don't get a lot of steering radius either, I will say that. But you didn't get much radius on the SCX10s either. Not the original. But she just sounds good actually. For such a little old transmission. And you don't have to be fast, does you? I can't see my camera from the way I got it mounted either, so. I got it set up to where I can kind of drive one-handed, but I can't make sharp turns. There's my chateau. Without a shadow of a doubt. Oh. If I would have put the Trailmaster in here, oh, she'd be sweet. And I could probably bump it up on gearing if I wanted to, but we're just going to see if it... I think my next video is going to be the fun one. We're just doing a little quick run today, but we're going to do a little comparison video, see what a $45 crawler can do up against, well, I got probably over 800 bucks in the high lift, high trail. So we're going to do a TRX4 and a Gen 8 against a $45 yard sale special. You know what, and I can just tell for some reason, you know, other than the big bulky axles and the couple of things, I got a feeling this truck will probably outperform a lot of trucks I've had. I mean, just because it's a clone doesn't mean nothing. I have seen some really shitty ones too, but once you throw all the goodies in there, and suspension, I will say this, I like the suspension on this truck. I actually do. Well, alright guys, this thing is actually pretty cool. This video is way too long, so kind of doing some cutting and editing on the driving of this, but there's one more place I want to go ahead and try right here real quick. We haven't come up this side yet, so we're going to give her a whirl. Oh, I should have went this way first. Oh, there's a hole there. These tires have potential for whatever kind of generic tire they are. Come on, catch that corner, catch it. Oh yeah, yeah, baby. Not every truck makes that so easy, trust me. That was actually impressive. And for having that axial motor instead of a Trailmaster in here yet. Oh, I don't have rock sliders to catch. I was about ready to, my normal run on every truck, I have to kind of do a little goose right there just to make sure. And this one didn't have no sliders, I forgot. Maybe I should just, well, I would say I'd comp this thing out, but not with these big bulky axles. And zero turning radius. The only thing that is bad about this thing is the turning radius, if you ask me. I could deal with them axles catching stuff, the diffs, because that's more scale, if you ask me. This thing would be perfect for a hard body. Can we climb this? This is a hard spot right here. Okay, okay, okay. What? What? All right, you gotta stay over here on this one rock. Not fall off the rock. Or the brick, I'm saying. Right here, come on, come on, stay on it. Yeah. Then you gotta go this way. Gotta go this way. All right, low difficult right there. It was pretty good though. We were doing fine. We'll save it, won't we? No, maybe not. Okay, still having some fun here. This is, well, I'll go this way. I say there ain't a lot of turning radius, but this thing is fun. I don't care. I'm enjoying this little truck. I can't wait to see what I can do with it as far as the body or figure out what I'm gonna do here. This is definitely a budget build. I can't put too much money in this thing because I don't even know what it's worth. It ain't worth much, probably. If it's one of them clones, it's only a couple $100 rig. I know they're all over the place on prices nowadays. When it comes to them clones, you might see one for the same price almost, and then you see another one for 160 bucks. Ooh, stay up there. What am I bottoming out for? Already? Alright, we'll just do that. Now, I did lower the suspension from what I started last night when I first put it together. I had it sitting up a little higher, and I was like, well, now that I actually fixed the problem with the drive shaft, I can bring it back down low again. Ooh, how low can you go? So anyway, so that's that. Again, guys, I'm not trying to make a long video here. I think we've proved our point on this $45 crawl. I think the next video is going to be, what can a $45 crawler do against a $800 crawler? We'll put it up against the High Trail and Blazer and stuff. Look at this thing go though. I mean, really. I should put the high racks on this thing. And with wheel extensions. Oh man, it'd be on. I'm not even standing on the side I normally would stand on because I'm so scared it's gonna fall. Why? Because I had confidence that time. I never have confidence standing on this side of this bridge because I'm always ready to catch it on the other. These tires are not bad. I don't know what they are. There ain't no name at all wrote on them, so maybe I could just write Easy Boy on them. It's all right, guys. Guys, we're going to end it here because this is too long of a video. So, and whoever that was, again, if anyone commented, just Chinese knockoff tires, you're the one that gets the dyno line because there is no name. I guess they're just a stock tire to whatever this vehicle was, you know. So, please like and subscribe, everybody. And I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so we're going to have some kind of giveaway coming. I just don't know what yet. I'm racking my brain on what I can afford and what everybody would like. So, again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And we'll see you next time. Peace.